You know, when it comes down to it, the Emmys is the biggest television awards in the world. And it doesn't get any bigger than that, doesn't get any better than that. This year, Dun & Dusted is doing a collaboration, a co-production with Lorne Michaels and his company, Broadway Video, and all the weight that that brings with all the producers and might and writers behind SNL, which is actually a treat for us.
I think it's been a great learning process on both sides. I think what Dun & Dusted has brought to the table in terms of our large-scale event and live show credentials is kind of second to none. And obviously, Saturday Night Live speaks for itself in terms of creativity and comedy specifically. From the start, it's felt like we've been involved in something special, and everybody's been striving for the same thing, and that's to make the best Emmy Awards possible.
We're doing something to change the format this year. What we will do is run the nominations package, then the guest presenters will enter, so they talk to the nominees, say the winner is.
And the Emmy goes to?
Goes to.
Goes to.
La La Land.
No, don't say that.
And then the person comes up to receive the award.
Ooh! Regina King!
Jed, Zoe, and Max, you can go to bed now. Daddy won!
You know, what that's designed to do is to move those awards through click, 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 click fast without being disrespectful to the nominees or the award winner.
So if there's one thing that Dun & Dusted does very well, it's put ourselves in very tricky and demanding situations because we're always wanting to push the envelope a little bit further.
There's a ton of tech and you have to be laser focused to make sure you hit every single cue. There's no room for error.
What we have is one very, very big screen. It's 38 feet high, 120 odd feet wide. We hope that the kicker of it is 14 screens that all open like louver doors. We have one massive image and then we have little tricks we can play with projection on those doors as they. So there are about 6 or 8 completely different setups. So graphics change, positioning changes, where they're constantly trying to refresh in your mind so you just don't come back 2 hours into the award show and it looks exactly the same as it was before. I'm such a fan of Michael and Colin. What a lot of people won't know is they write. They write for themselves, of course, but they write for other skits, etc. And so I think people probably see them as the talent in front of the camera, but also they're incredibly gifted writers in their own right.
I mean, Ian, Hamish and Guy, they're the dream team, and they have this pursuit of excellence every time, but also a drive to reimagine what's traditional.
No part of me ever thought I'd be sat here as part of the team that's going to produce the biggest night in TV. And I honestly couldn't wish to have done it with a better bunch of people.
Hamish is obviously directing the show. We've worked together for over a quarter of a century. You know, I love him as a business partner, but I also equally respect him as a director. If I was going to invade a country, I would get Mr. Guy Carring to organise it. He's the most buttoned-up producer I know. Literally, when I say, what about that, he's already thought about it and cured it and implemented it. It's quite curious to do this interview, of course, before the show, because if it's great, of course, it was all my idea, and if it was crap, I'm not even in the country anymore.